morning, everybody. How are you? The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon. Good morning, sir.
Shut up, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the short Rise Up show. This is a bit of a special one, a bit of a different one today. So in the Hive, you will find Matt Elwell going live, sharing with you about all things sales. Now, that was also yesterday. So we have a Hive takeover this week. So excited to be able to share with you Matt from the Elite Closing Academy, who, if you haven't already checked him out, go and check him out this week, because he is going to be giving you, setting you sales hints, tips, tricks, tools, ways that you can practically get your sales off of the ground. But it is Tuesday. It's Tuesday and I'm doing a live. It's Tuesday and I'm doing a short Rise Up show, which is different, isn't it? A little bit different. However, we're celebrating today. We've got something to celebrate, and it is a big one. So I want you to do me a favor and drop me a load of likes and loves. And please comment along if you are watching along. Now, the difficulty, I think, with this particular thing where I'm going live right now is I'm going live on my personal profile. And I don't think I'm going to be able to see your comments. So give me a sec. Let me hop on over. Yeah, I can see that you're commenting, but I can't actually see your comments here on StreamYard. So I'm going to watch along. See, we've got Amy Mantle watching along this morning. Amy Blaney, good morning. Leslie Walter, good morning, everybody. Please do comment along. I'll be able to look down and see them on my phone. I do have a very sassy guest this morning. We are celebrating something pretty big in the IATQB community on this here Valentine's Day. So first of all, happy Valentine's Day from my heart to yours. I hope that today is lovely, beautiful, sexy, gorgeous, everything that you need it to be, and also gentle if you need it to be gentle. I definitely need it to be gentle today, and I cannot think of any better way than celebrating Valentine's Day with one of my very, very best friends in the world, the incredible Jojo Smith from Creative Sass. Get on in here, missus.
Am I coming in gentle for a gentle squeeze?
You are coming in hot for a big squish is what you are doing, because we are celebrating a big swish, in fact. Jojo, hello. So this is a little pause and a little cuddle in what is a busy day for you. Don't go already. We've not even started. We've not even started. So,
Mate,
Jojo,
you started a long time ago, and it's all your fault.
I am quite happy to take the blame for all of this. Quite happy to take the blame. However, there's a difference between being a catalyst and an action taker. And an action taker is absolutely what you are. Jojo, will you tell everybody what we're celebrating today? Because this is a big day.
It's a big day, and I've got to be honest, I'm not normally stuck for words. I'm a little bit stuck for words today. I wasn't on the last live that I've just done, but this with you is a whole different emotion and triumph and everything else. Mate, the 5-foot Jojo behind me, and this one is why I'm here.
It's so exciting. Do you know what? Like, when we have these conversations, normally the first thing that you go is, oh my God, I can't believe it. I can believe it. There has been no doubt in my mind from the very, very second that you and I met that there wouldn't be a day like this, and not just a day like this, but a whole series of days and events and celebrations and milestones and all of these things, celebrating you and the incredible things that you bring into the world. And today I am a very, 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 very proud sister and a very, 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 very proud friend. Jojo, do me a favor, because otherwise we're just going to sit here loving on each other, which is really nice. But we pretty much do that every day anyway. If anybody is sort of privy to the majority of our calls, a lot of them are spent crying at each other. Happy tears.
We have a lot. we have like a whole Netflix adventure show going on behind the scenes. We do all the fun stuff together, but we do all the serious and sassy stuff together as well.
Yeah.
And working with you definitely was the catalyst to getting me to this point. I started my talk with you, and I'll be starting my talk at the book ball like this. How the bloody hell did I get here? And that is this. By loving myself beyond belief. Hold on, I'm not getting my pointing right. By loving myself beyond belief. Mate, it's been a journey, and it's been a sassy, sorry, strategy that has got me here. And it's not rocket science. I am no rocket scientist. I'm a Brummie girl from Birmingham that uses kisses as full stops. But the thing that I've done that has been the foundation to all of the happy, sassy, and successful parts of it is loving myself beyond belief. And that came from lots of different little strategies and really being committed and consistent in them. And one of the biggest was community, of which, mate, you know that you're a spearhead for that. For me, we travel these things. It is like we are just going to sit here and just look at each other and love each other hard, because that's what we do in order that we go off and do our very special sassy things and be successful for ourselves, but for others. One of the things that you say all the time is we're good people doing good things.
We are good people doing good things. We are good people doing good things. And I think that because we are good people doing good things and we surround ourselves with good people doing good things, guess what? Good things happen. Like it's a mathematical equation when you look at it like that. For all of you that are watching out there who might be struggling a little bit with themselves, who might be struggling a little bit with their perception of themselves or how much they believe in themselves, the more that you surround yourself with good people doing good things and you become a good person doing good things can only happen. And this is the kind of journey and the series of adventures that you and I have found ourselves on. So for context, because I don't know how, but some people in my community might not have come across you. And
really,
I don't know how. This is like when I walk into places and go, my name's Danny Wallace and I'm the Queen Bee, and they all look at me and they go, it was she. So for a little bit of a who is she moment, I have lots of new followers lately. I've been doing lots and lots of work to bring new people into our community, to bring new people into the periphery of IATQB, of which you are firmly a member of. So for those people, who are you, Jojo Smith?
So I am the belief, branding and business development fairy godmother. Swish. Can I get a swish? And the reason I say that, it's a very swish statement, but the self-belief is real, but it wasn't always like that. And I did all the work, including with you. And like I say, that's been a huge journey. You opened my eyes at the very, very beginning of my journey that the most important thing in my world was me, and that my USP was me. You asked me a question very, very early on when I started out my business, and my brand was going to be really bland and who I thought I should be rather than who I could be. And I had a light bulb epiphany moment, which is a little bit in the book. The foreword is also written by this one.
Danny Wallace. Who's she?
Right.
That was an honour to write.
I used to write the foreword for the book, she went, but don't you want anybody famous? I was like, you are famous. What do you want?
Based on a whisper campaign that I have created myself by walking in places going, I'm famous.
Mate, I've started doing this. It works.
It really does. They go tell their mates and they go, she's famous.
I'm telling you, I've met people in a service station, our Alan, in a service station that sat down after the Stephen Bartlett rave and went, where have you been? Oh, we've been to a Stephen Bartlett rave. Oh yeah, what's that then? Well, you don't know, but I'm a bit of a thing.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Alan likes and loves my posts every day now.
Go on, Alan.
Right, but God bless Alan. Right. So anyway, so I went on this journey of the whole discovery of starting my business. I'd come from 20 years in corporate development, And I started out on my own, had a little bit of integrity compromise, well, a lot of integrity compromise, decided to start my own business, but didn't have a lot of self-belief or a lot of self-love at that point. Was scared shitless, but in order to make a change and make a difference, I knew I'd got to step it up. So stepped into that, met you, we spoke about my brand, and you showed me the light. Oh, it was like an
it wasn't
epiphany
necessarily
moment.
about your brand, it was about yourself. And I think that this is the
Yes.
important thing, the thing that actually has been, that was a seed that was sown within you that has eventually gone on to become this book and all of the other things that you do. So when you create, your incredible program Fabulous, for example, is everything that I do within the world is about amplification of self, and amplification of your core self, your truest values, what it is that you believe in. Because once you're able to connect with that and articulate that, you can then amplify it. And once you amplify it, you get louder, you reach more people, so on and so on and so on. So it wasn't necessarily, because I'm no branding expert, but I am definitely an expert in amplification. And when you first showed me what it was that you were wanting to put out into the world, I couldn't see you being able to amplify that within your truest self, within your deepest connection to what it is that you believe, or how you present on a micro level. How was you going to amplify that on a macro level? How are you going to be able to zoom that out in order for people to really see you? Because when people sit down with you, they see you. There's no getting away from it. So how do we go from having to sit down with somebody to being amplified so that people come to sit with you, which is exactly what's happening now, to see you snowball in the way that you do, to be recognized from the stage. When somebody like Stephen Bartlett is on stage, every time that he sees you and we're at the front there, he points at you, comes over, he jumped off of the stage from doing a DJ set, made a beeline for you and gave you a hug, because you are amplified, because of how it is that you are so connected you are with yourself and your mission now, that it shines out of you in everything that it is that you do. And that in itself becomes two things. It becomes a magnet and also a repellent. And I think that it's important that we talk about that this morning, Jojo.
Yeah, agreed. But that was my worry. I had that big self worry of being a repellent, because when you're starting a business, you don't
want to be a repellent.
Yeah, you don't want to be a repellent, right? But let me tell you, like, mosquito repellent has saved me from many an uncomfortable itch. So it is the best thing to be. And what you showed me was, yes, in amplification of self, you actually step into your truest USP, your truest unique selling point, which, this book is not just for people with a business. I really need to say that. It's for people to create a life that serves them, because if you've got your own business, then actually you can have the successful freedom. I say freedom because you work hard, don't get me wrong, but you can have that. But in order to have the confidence and the self-belief to scale and to do all those things, you've got to love yourself beyond belief first. Yeah. But what absolutely blows my mind, right, and I cannot now get, is the fact that we all wish to be like everybody else.
Right.
Oh my God. You are there's no truer thing than there is only one you in this world. Right. And that is your USP. That is your unicorn, unique selling point, superpower, whatever you want to call it. And the minute you step into that, mate, you don't just turn up the volume. You're like, amplification is off the scale. It's like that moment in Bill and Ted when they blow the speakers.
Right.
It just becomes effortless, like totally effortless to be yourself, but it's giving yourself that permission to wholeheartedly be yourself.
When you become unafraid of yourself, I think that's the thing. Like, we have to really look at ourselves and go, what is it that I'm scared of? Where is and that's a bit of a healing situation where belief is concerned. And I think this is where your book is really, really helpful, is that it helps to strip back that fear, so that the thought of the thing is always worse than the doing of the thing, whatever the thing is. And if it's becoming more yourself, so that you become, like Gabby Bernstein would call it, being a super attractor, right? You become a super attractor. You become a super repellent for some people, and that's okay and necessary. Like you say, we want to be protected from uncomfortable itches and people that are not for us. We do not want to attract to us. We only want to attract people to us that are for us, right? But your book actually provides really incredible strategies and tools and tips and tricks that you can put into your arsenal of awesome so that you can do this, so that it does become effortless. Because once you understand who it is that you are and that is okay in and of itself, that effortlessness starts to grow. But I think having those tools in the first instance is really, really important. And that I think is the crux of this book, is this introduction to these self-awareness strategies, this sass that you speak of. And, you know, we could talk about being sassy and the play on words and the pun and the fun and the, you know, and all of this and the pinkness of it all. But actually, let's boil it down to how incredibly seriously good this concept and these concepts are that you share. So talk to us about self-awareness strategy, the concept of sass.
So self-awareness is, and creative sass is about being creative in your self-awareness strategies, making them joyful, making them fun, because if you don't, it becomes a chore to self-develop yourself sometimes, right? Because it's a little bit scary and everything else. So we have to connect with it. So self-awareness, there's a statistic out there. Don't ask me to quote you where it's from. I think it's from the Harvard personal development or something like that. Self-awareness, most of the population think that they are self-aware, me included. I was 46 and I knew myself. I knew who I was. I knew what I liked, what I didn't like, and everything else. So I thought. Actually, only 15% of us are actually self-aware. That is huge. And like, because, you know, people will be watching and thinking, no, I know who I am. I know what I like. You don't until you actually do the work. You don't know why you're the way you are until you do the work. You know, you have to kind of go on that whole journey of self-awareness. And you know what? It doesn't just help you. It helps others around you. It helps you on every level of connection to yourself and to others, because you understand how you are. This is, as I said, I do belief, branding and business development. But my absolutely foundational belief is that belief is at the core of the foundation for all of your success. And if you don't get that right at the beginning with your self-awareness, and if you don't do the work on that, the rest won't scale and the rest won't come to you. And it's only through doing that. I mean, because everybody probably thought I'd do a book on branding, right? Or they probably thought I'd do a book just on wishes. Don't get me wrong. The belief is what gets you to the wishes. And we know that I believe that WISH stands for with intention, success happens. You can be super intentional in your self-awareness strategy to actually get the jobs done and get the work done. Because once you do it, honestly, mate, it's so freeing. I can't even, like, it's hard to put into words.
It is hard to articulate. And the thing is, like, you and I and our friendship has been rooted in, you would say it's fangirling in the first instance. I would say it's in a mutual respect and love of what it is that we're both bringing into the world. I think you've caught up now, right? That
I don't know, because you do some things and I go, Danny Wallace, I know it. She's actually one of my best mates. She's actually I've slept with Danny Wallace.
Oh God, but I can't even remember what I was saying. I'm so embarrassed.
But that sounded so wrong.
It was so right though, Georgia. It was so right.
That's a whole other story, but go on.
So, you know, this is this incredible human being that is sat here talking to me this morning. I'm addressing you guys watching out there. Is somebody who took a chance to spend half an hour having a brew with me when I didn't really know who she was and she didn't really know who I was, but took a chance. She says yes to opportunities where she's able. She loves implicitly, and she is one of the smartest people I know. Like, you would argue that you're not the cleverest person in the world, but you are the smartest person I know. And the way that your brain works is beautiful and magical. And when I see you talking to your clients, when I see you talking to me, because I'm a client of yours, the way that your brain opens up and unlocks different things is absolutely phenomenal. It's nothing shy of magic. And for all of the froth and all of this fabulous stuff that is beautiful and pink and delicious and gorgeous and lovely, I always want to keep bringing people back to the incredible work that it is that you do when you are working with people in terms of building their brand and their businesses, their self-belief, their focus, because all of them are intrinsically interlinked. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of need, but for business and for branding.
Mate, I've got a prop for this.
I know. I was setting you up so you could show
your
us.
cake and eat it lifestyle. Right?
You want your cake and eat it lifestyle. Are you lot listening? Take notes.
Right? Then you got to do the foundational layer, which is belief. You then, if you want to start your business in freedom, you've got to get your branding right. But you will not get this right if you don't get this right.
Yeah.
And you won't get this, which is what everybody comes to me for, Dan, business development. But I have to start here with them, because if we're going to take your business to the scalability of Mahusive, then we got to start with the belief. And that's
nobody comes to anybody wanting to build a small business. I want to build a tiny business that doesn't do anything. Most people start a business because they want to either impact their bank balance, impact their families. I remember when I was at that point where my sole goal was to earn enough money so that I didn't have to work for anybody else, just enough to pay my wages, enough to pay my bills, enough to survive, enough to have a little bit extra on the side so I can maybe take the kids out and do something. That for me at that particular point in time was a big business, huge business for me at the time. I could never have ever imagined that I could generate £2,000 a month, which is what it was, plus whatever overheads I had in order to live the life that I wanted. And then the next step to that was to, buy a house. The next step to that was to create a charity. The next step to that was to create an event. The next step to that was to do all of these things. And it grows each time. If I didn't believe that I was capable of doing that, or tap into a knowing that that was something that was within my skill set that I was capable of, none of it would have happened. None of it. And when you have that foundational level, that foundational layer, you say this to me, you even said this to me over the weekend, I will things into reality. I will things into being, but that's because I know and I believe that I can. Everything else is reverse engineering. I know what the wish is. I know what the goal is. Everything else is just logistics. Yeah. That foundation level is, the thing that, you help me with on the daily, you help your clients with on the daily. And then all the technical and the logistical stuff happens off the top. And that is a field of your expertise.
Well, it like I say, it's a layered and tiered system.
Yeah.
But the fundamental part of that is really understanding what you are capable of. And that's where your SAS comes in. But Dan, it's so important that this is a rinse and repeat cycle, right? Because, and I've got this saying, I've totally reformed a saying that is out there, but it's with bigger wishes come bigger self-doubt dishes. Right. And they get bigger and bigger. So you got to have a strategy in your pocket that as they come, mate, I have been holding on for dear life. My SAS has had to be totally pulled out of my ass these last few weeks.
you have strapped in for impact.
Mate, we have had snot bubbles beyond snot bubbles with the whole book ball and launch. I mean, there was a phone call earlier this week to Danny that was me in an absolute mess. She was like, has somebody died? And I was like, no, that puts it in perspective.
Is anyone dying? Are you okay?
Do I need to come and get anybody? I was like, no.
I will come and cut a bitch for you. I am from the ends.
And I was like, no, I'm having a moment. And I just needed, and part of my strategy is definitely my community.
Yeah.
And that is definitely one of my self-awareness tools. And at that moment, I knew I needed that conversation. Oh my goodness, did you bring me back to where I needed to be? it's bigger wishes do bring those bigger self-doubt issues, and you've
Yeah, they
got
do.
to have these strategies in place to do it. Dan, you call me smart, right? I am not book smart. I've learned more from you than when I was at school. I tell you this all the time, right? But I am common sense smart. I am a rapid adapter. I am resilient. And I always remember you saying to Ivy one day as we were walking, it was on the 10K, which I did on a pink scooter.
Of course you did.
No false trading standards here. I did not do a 10K. But I heard you say to Ivy, Jojo is the most resourceful person I know. Right?
You are.
Now that comes from being a successor of the care system.
Yes.
It's like Liam Nielsen. I have a special set of skills.
You have a special set of skills.
I am resourceful. I am resilient, and I have common sense.
You have common sense as well, babe.
I have a glossary in the back of my book because I taught my own language. So it's common sense, right? And when you say I unlock certain things, it's because I walk the job and I walk the journey with you. It's one of my favourite bits that we get to do. And you always go, it's the details, Jojo. I don't want
to be detailed. Who would have thought that this incredible person that is sat next to me this morning is the details person in my life? She is exactly the details person that I need in my life.
You wrote in the foreword of the book, and I was like, oh my goodness, why am I not telling enough people this? A lot of people assume, and you shouldn't assume, it makes an ass out of you and me, right? But a lot of people assume I want to transform them into being just like me.
Right.
That couldn't be further from the truth. And you wrote in the foreword that what I want to do is transform them into their absolutely unicorn superpower self.
Yeah.
And that means me seeing your nuggets. Sorry, wrong.
Wait.
But that means me seeing you, and it's getting worse, and all your crown jewels. Right. That is me seeing you for who you truly are, because you don't see it. Dan, we had another snot bubble moment when we watched The Boy, the Horse, the Mole, the Fox, whichever.
Oh God, I died on Christmas Eve. Has anyone seen it? Charles Mackey has an animation. It was a book, The Boy, the Fox, the Mole, and the Horse. Or the Boy, the Horse, the Fox. Either way, it's we don't know which order they go in. I think it's The Boy, the Horse, the Mole, and the Fox, the Boy, the Mole. Anyway, those things. And there was an animation that came out on Christmas Eve. And I watched it from beginning to end, and then I watched it again, and then I watched it again, and I have not cried that hard at an animation ever. I was going to say like since something, maybe since that rabbit died out of Watership Down and Bright Eyes was playing. I still didn't understand. Or Bambi's, when Bambi, like spoiler alert, when Bambi's mum got shot, like. I haven't cried like that. I tell you, the last time I cried like that, Marley and Me, was probably the last time I had a cry like that. Tell us about that.
So you watched that, and then you rang me in floods of tears and just going, "You're my horse." I had no clue she'd watched it. So I was like, I'm a horse. Am I? I'm a horse. So we had a whole conversation. You went, go and watch it. And I was like, I can't watch it till tomorrow. Now, for anybody that doesn't, it's still on BBC iPlayer, and I strongly urge anybody to go and watch it because it's so profound and it's so beautiful and it's so heart-touching that you will relate to it on some kind of level, and you will know who is your mole, fox, horse, boy, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to tell me I was the mole because the mole really likes cake and just thinks cake. But she said, you are my horse. And that meant the world to me, because it meant that we've gone on these journeys and we've been there for each other. And for me, there's a part in that where the boy tells the horse, the horse says, I've got a secret to tell you. I've got some wings. But I don't use them because it used to make all the other horses jealous. Dan, you saw my wings and you told me to go and fly anyway. And it's through doing that has got me to this point, which is going to allow me to have the platform to do all the things that are so precious to me, and helping others love themselves beyond belief. How blessed am I to get to do that?
So let's talk about some of these things, because I want us to speak and will these things into fruition. And I think already in the background, some of these cogs are already starting to turn. So over the course of the live this morning, we've talked about Jojo's business, and Jojo works in belief branding and business development. So if you need help with those, I would always go and speak to my girl Jojo, right? Go and speak to my girl Jojo. Because if she can't help, she knows someone who can. She literally is like a fairy godmother when it comes to those things. Her program, Fabulous Sass, is phenomenal in terms of introducing yourself to that self-awareness strategy. If you've not done work on personal development before, it's an incredible place to start, and so on and so on. And one of the things that when I first started IATQB, when I first started in business, I always saw the Fly Anyway Foundation as the thing that was going to be my legacy piece. I was going to help people take up space in the world. I was going to create a stage that feels inclusive to people, that makes people from all sorts of different backgrounds come and want to take up space, to see themselves on those stages and then see what's possible for themselves. That's part of the legacy piece. The other piece is around helping people who've experienced domestic abuse break cycles, become cycle breakers. I want you to share with people, because I don't think everybody knows about this bit of you, Jojo. I think that you speak about it sometimes within our community and sometimes within yours. And I think that for the wider people that are watching this morning, there are new people that are watching along this morning. You just said you are a success story of the care system. And I think that's an important thing to mention. But what is it that you are planning? What is it that you are hoping to do once you've achieved your level of success within the world?
You get to a point within your business development, Dan, where you're reaching the successes you hoped and wished for. And yes, they can be bigger. Yes, they can be more financially rewarding. But as I spoke before, it's the intrinsic stuff, and understanding that the biggest part of your why is, more often than not, 99.9%, is to help your former self.
Yeah.
And that's where the real feeling of fulfillment and indulgence, as I call it, which is indulgence and fulfillment together, is helping those people, like I said, that there was the former you. For me, those are survivors of the care system. Those are kids that are leaving care, that literally fall off a cliff because at 18, you are happy birthday, off you fuck.
Yeah.
Right out of the system. And if you think as a grown adult, when you've lost both parents, so we have somebody that's maybe lost parents at 35, 45, 55, and then they lose the other one, right? Then quite often they suffer like an orphan syndrome at that age. Imagine having that at 18, when you have not got that support, that commitment, that guidance, that motivation, that inspiration, that help just on the small things. And there are too many kids in the care system falling off that cliff. And for me, it's like they almost come with a stigma attached as well, of having baggage, of being bad kids, and they're put into accommodation, they're put into places where they're set up to fail, Dan, because they're not surrounded by the right kind of influences, because they're kind of like, okay, we'll just shove you here. Now, they've
been put up with. They've been put up with, and not, unless they've been not cared for in the care system.
Yeah. And it's just, there's so many things that I want to try and do there. And with the business development side, I really, truly believe we can help to build business. Because like I said, we come with a special set of skills. And when you absolutely home in on those and you get some self-awareness within those, oh my goodness, success is inevitable. Because you can fly high and you can do and reach your wishes and dreams, but they just need that inspiration. So for me, this feels big. First time I've actually said it out loud live, is that is a CIC, just like the Fly Anyway Foundation, which is for care leavers, but also retention and recruitment for caregivers is at an all-time low. If anybody saw the John Lewis advert this year, this was another catalyst for me to take action, because I spent some time, my whole life was in care, but I was in foster care. It broke a little while I went back to my mum. It's in the book. I then went into a children's home, and then I came back into foster care. But that Christmas advert of making a difference for somebody's life for Christmas, all my childhood dreams and memories are around how that was not a happy time. And you can make such a difference by being a foster carer, by giving an experience to a child that just needs love and guidance. But the foster carers aren't treated that great, yet they want them coming in. We need to change that. Something huge that's happening at the moment, and I know we're probably running out of time, but
no, it's all right.
Something huge that is happening at the moment is there are some activists that are going up and down the country in councils to actually make being a care leaver a protected characteristic. I didn't even know what that was before. I can be the gob here. I'm not the researcher. I'm not great at that kind of stuff. But to be the person that creates awareness in this arena, a protected characteristic is the same as gender, race, age, right? We cannot discriminate against kids that have left care. And it's about time we gave them a helping hand. Danny, you've always said you reach back. And I get that now, because it is about paying it forward. It's about reaching back and paying it forward. And whatever I can do in this arena now actually really flipping excites me. It scares the shit out of me as well. But you know what? Bigger wishes, bigger self-doubt dishes. I've got to rinse and repeat strategy.
Exactly that. And that is you living this self-awareness strategy just as much as I live showing up, wising up and rising up every single day. And for you to, you embody that. And this book is almost like a manual. If those of you out there and you've not got a hold of this book yet, it is called Loving Yourself Beyond Belief by Jojo Smith. You can go and get this on Amazon. You can get this on Kindle. It's only a matter of time before it's going to come out on Audible. I need you guys to go and get a hold of it. I think we've said enough about, how smart, incredibly resourceful, incredibly, clever Jojo is. There are tools, tips and tricks within that book that is easy to read, that is fun, that is joyful, that you are going to be able to apply today, if you get the Kindle version, today in your life and your business, that is only going to help it grow. And I have, I believe in this book beyond belief. I believe that, that this has got absolute legs for so many people in so many different ways, not only to be laying the sort of the real public facing foundation of creative SaaS and everything that, that is going to grow from here, and everything that Brand Jojo is going to bring forth into the world, not least of which the incredible impact that you're going to have in the field of the care system and the kids care industry. Martin Shine is just asking, where can we find the link to Jojo's book? Go to amazon.co.uk or whatever country that you're in, type in Loving Yourself Beyond Belief, Jojo Smith. It should pop up straight away. But
Jojo Smith, it'll pop up with Jojo Smith. I will put the link in here afterwards. But Dan, can I leave today with a sassy dare?
Oh, yeah.
Creating mischief. I like a bit of mischief.
Love a bit of mischief, babe.
A little bit of sassy, not sorry. So I'm a fairy godmother, and normally it's me creating the wishes into reality for everybody else. I have a wish. My wish is that my book is on supermarket shelves. So the supermarket sassy sweep, I want you to be a part of. If you get a copy of this book, I want you to take it into your local supermarket, pop it on the shelf. I don't care what shelf. Take a picture
with the beans.
With the beans. Tag me in it, and the best creative tag of it being on a supermarket shelf, Danny, I will give something very, very special.
Everybody knows I'm a fan of the Asdas, so I challenge you to beat mine. I am already thinking about this. I am excited.
This book needs to be on the supermarket shelves, and we can I want you to tag myself and the supermarket, right? Because let's make this a thing.
Let's make this a thing. I have never known anyone more capable of making things like this happen. And I would just implore you all that are a part of this community, come and get amongst it. Grab hold of your copy of Loving Yourself Beyond Belief by Jojo Smith. Go and pardon me, go and get it from the Amazon. Go and get a hard copy. I've just ordered mine. I have been holding out to order it so I can be part of the bestseller campaign, as opposed to getting it just because I want it in my hands and I wanted it for this morning. Please keep checking in with the book. I really want to be celebrating with you as soon as it hits bestseller. It is only a matter of time. I think in the next sort of a couple of hours we'll be having that phone call and celebrating together, and I cannot wait. Jojo, I love you.
If anybody wants to come and celebrate us in person, in real life, you can come to the book ball on the 22nd of February.
What an idiot. I forgot to tell everybody the book ball. Oh my God. Jojo, tell us about the book ball. It's amazing. I am going to be there.
The book ball, she's not only going to be there, she's actually hosting it, which is like a wish come true for me. The book ball is on the 22nd of February in Birmingham at the most sassiest event ever. It's a night of magical memories, mischief and motivation. You will not be disappointed. It will be all the sassiness, dress code, sassy, not sorry, come as you are, ball gown, dressing gown, so long as you are comfortable. I do not care. We just want you to be there. I'll put the link in here as well. It will be a real night of connection. We're almost at 100 tickets sold.
Amazing. And then we will be sold out. That is incredible. But please do come along. Marty's just asking, will Jojo be at the next Be Inspired event? Yes, she's our creative director. She's at all of the Be Inspired. You'll always see our Jojo there. She's our creative director. So everything that you see kind of visually in embodiment at Be Inspired, Jojo is the brainchild behind it. So everything that you see, all of the experiences that you have as you go through Be Inspired that aren't on the stage, actually, it's our Jojo that's curated and created them, because she is my sassy fairy godmother for all things creative. So get your tickets to the book ball. We'll put links in on LinkedIn. We'll put links in here on Facebook. Please do get your ticket and come along. We have planned such a phenomenal evening of entertainment, joy, of self-belief, of incredibleness. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Jojo, I couldn't be more proud of you, my darling friend. You have been sent by God above to be my mate, and I'm just want to take a little second to tell you how much I'm grateful for you for picking up the phone that time and telling me that you're coming along for a brew. That brew, I know it changed your life, but it changed my life too. And I cannot wait to celebrate with you in real life next week at the book ball. Until then, I cannot wait to see this book take off and fly just as you're doing. I love you.
Thank you. I love you back.
And I'm going to kick her backstage before she blubs, because I know exactly what we're both going to do when we have a little chat after this just now. But thank you so much for joining me this morning on this very special edition of the show at Wise Up Rise Up Show, on this Tuesday edition. Please join me tomorrow. We're going to be doing speaker reveals. Please join us over in the Hive all this week. We have Matt Elwell from the Elite Closing Academy sharing all things sales with you. So if you are wanting to focus on your sales, the Hive is the place to be this week. With our VIP speaker for Be Inspired, Matt Elwell is going to be sharing with you some top tips, tricks and hints on how to raise your bottom line. All right, my darlings, have an incredible Valentine's Day from my heart to yours. I love you.